Hey! It is time for a book haul, specifically our November book haul.
That is right, November book haul. Here
Got
we are.
a little more than I expected to be getting in November, but stop pointing at me.
She shall out herself by herself.
Exactly.
On her own.
Anyway, the first thing I'm going to show you is actually not a book, but it is a pre-order thing that I got for pre-ordering Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco, which is a book I enjoyed a whole lot earlier this year. So there is a pin that looks like that.
That's cool.
And then we've got a signed book plate, which I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to cover Mackie's face here. Not a vlogger, clearly. And it comes with these two cards of two of the characters.
That's gorgeous.
And then we're gonna go straight into talking about things that I got from the publishers. And Mackie will also have a few things to contribute as well. These are both unsolicited, and I had no idea they were coming. The first thing is a finished copy of A Curse of Roses by Diana, I'm gonna butcher this last name, Pinguicha?
Sure.
Sorry. The summary of this one says, with just one touch, bread turns into roses. With just one bite, cheese turns into lilies. There's a famine plaguing the land, and Princess Isabel is wasting food simply by trying to eat. Before she can even swallow, her magic, well, her curse, has turned her meal into a bouquet. She's on the verge of starving, which only reminds her that the people of Portugal have been enduring the same pain. If only it were possible to reverse her magic, then she could turn flowers into food. Fatyan, a beautiful enchanted Moora, is the only one who can help, but she's trapped by magical binds. She can teach Isabel how to control her curse if Isabel sets her free with a kiss.
Okay.
As the king of Portugal's betrothed, Isabel would be committing treason. But what good is a king if his country has starved to death? With just one kiss, Fatyan is set free, and with just one kiss, Isabel is yearning for more. She'd sought out Fatyan to help her save the people. Now, loving her could mean Isabel's destruction. Dramatic!
Sure. Alright.
You know what? It sounds like it would be really good. I've heard this one is based actually on an actual Portuguese myth.
Oh,
so
hello.
That is also another interesting aspect to it.
Kind of cool. Alright.
And then we got this box. It says Raise Your Phantom on it right there. So this is for a book called Crown of Bones. Actually it has more stuff in here than I thought, so if you would kindly hold that.
I think it's a map or a flag.
Kind of looks like a compass, actually.
It looks like a...
I have no idea. Ooh!
That's kind of cool.
That's pretty cool.
I like that.
Okay, what is in here? It says it is a goniatite fossil that was quarried from the Atlas Mountains in Morocco. And then it's actually got a hole bored into it so you can make it a necklace.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and then there's some...
Oh, it is a fossil. Look, it's got like a little nautilus kind of shell thing.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. And then there's also this pack of cards, and it says, Instructions for Initiates. Nowadays, bones have been made into cards and are placed in a cloth of hide, one in each of the 12 lots. And it's basically, it's like tarot cards. It sounds almost like tarot cards.
It's, well, either way, it's obviously lore related. And
yeah.
this back design is just really to die for. I love that.
And then there is a bookmark with the book on it. Oh, and there's a card that says Healer.
I like that.
And last but not least, and I will try not to make a mess here, we have a book called Crown of Bones. It has this pretty epic cover. The back says, fans of the Shannara Chronicles and Legend of the Seeker will get lost in the exciting, unique fantasy world of Aku. In a world on the brink of the next great dying, no amount of training can prepare us for what is to come. A young heir will raise the most powerful phantom in all of Byzine. A dangerous high savant will do anything to control the 9 realms. A mysterious and deadly Mar race will steal children into the sea. And a handsome guide with far too many secrets will make me fall in love. My name is Ash, a lowly scribe meant to observe and record, and yet I think I'm destined to save us all. That sounds so epic!
That is awesome.
I had not heard of that book before this box came in, but it sounds like something I would really like to read.
I believe so.
Gonna have to check it out.
We're probably gonna buddy reading this in once again.
Which we've been doing a lot lately.
Yeah,
so that's pretty much where my publisher stuff ends.
Yeah, I've got a couple as well that have come in. So I'm going to start with Rosie Loves Jack. It's by Mel Darbin. It's a story, again, also unsolicited. It's a story about a girl with Down syndrome, and it's told from her perspective. It pulls on the heartstrings, I want to say, because she obviously gets attached to Jack, and she's just growing up and seeing the world through her eyes, and, you know, how all of the feelings are just, you know, real and valid. And there's a real character sort of like at the center of this piece, obviously in the form of Rosie, and it's just lovely. So there's that. Let's for Peachtree.
Which reminds me, this one is from Entangled Teen, and I think that's also where Crown of Bones might be from. Could also be Entangled Teen.
Yep,
yeah,
it is.
So Both of those were from Tangled Teen. Thank you very much.
This one's also from Peachtree.
Wow, that's coordinated.
Yeah, so it's The Girl Who Stole an Elephant by
I love the cover.
Nizrana Farouk. So it's
a great
set in
cover.
Sri Lanka, actually. And it centers around a girl named Chaya, who is a nobleman's daughter. She sort of steals some jewels to like feed the poor, but unfortunately her friend gets framed for the theft, so she does like a prison break type deal.
With an elephant?
With it involves an elephant, I would like to say.
I'm
The
assuming.
king's prized elephant, no less.
I mean,
so,
if you're gonna steal an elephant, you might as well
take the best ride in the garage. In this case, best elephant. Just saying. I'm just saying. Girls got
really
style. Girls got style. So cool. Love the cover as well. So thank you, Peachtree and Entangled Teen, for some really cool new reads.
Yeah, I actually forgot 2 more books. I got them as e-galleys, which is why they slipped my mind a little. They're both from St. Martin's. So we have Cool for the Summer, which is by Dahlia Adler. And this one is basically a story of self-discovery and new love. It's about the things we want and the things we need. And it's about the people who will let us be who we are. And the other book that I got as an e-galley is One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. You might recognize that name as they are the author of Red, White, and Royal Blue, which I loved last year. This one is described as a sexy, big-hearted romance where the impossible becomes possible as August, who is the heroine, does everything in her power to save the girl lost in time. So thank you, St. Martin's, for both of those e-galleys. And now we're going to move right along to the books I bought.
Yes, what have you
well, we
amassed?
Have 2 manga acquisitions. Surprise, surprise.
Yes.
We have, I don't even know what volume we're at, 6. The 6th volume of the Cardcaptor Sakura Collector's Edition. Beautiful. And we are at volume 23 of Yona of the Dawn. And then I had a few pre-orders this month. The first one is a finished copy of These Violent Delights, which is by Chloe Gong. I've talked about this one a lot
profusely
online, and I will link to my review for it down below. But this is basically a Romeo and Juliet inspired story set in 1920s Shanghai. Our main characters are Juliet Kai and Romo Montagov. Their families are feuding, but they end up having to team up in order to fight against a magical plague that is taking over Shanghai. Very good book. Very excited for this.
Very traumatizing.
It was. Also on the pre-order list is How the King of Elfheim Learned to Hate Stories by Holly Black, and this is a set of short stories about Carden. I really like the Cruel Prince series a lot.
She really likes the Cruel Prince
series. And I
series
really enjoy Carden as a character, so I am looking forward to checking this one out. And last but certainly not least of the pre-orders, we have Unlocked, which is book 8.5 in the Keeper of the Lost City series by Shannon Messenger. Listen, I have been excited for this book since I finished Legacy, okay? Because I just need to know some things. And I'm aware that half of this book is basically like a guide to the Keeper of the Lost City.
Yeah, think of it as every kind of like encyclopedia of the world that's been.
And it's really cool because like this is the Barnes & Noble edition. So first of all, there's this fabulous map, which I think is on every edition of this book.
So for those of you who can't see it too well, this is the world map, our world map, but then dotted alongst the world, like, you know, pieces.
There you go.
You know, the world parts would be the actual lost cities.
Which is pretty cool. But that's not the only pretty thing about this book. It also has this amazing like case printing on it, which is gorgeous. But that's not the best part of this book either. The best part of this book is that the back of the dust jacket has this illustration on it. So 100% this is 100% something I love. 2 pieces.
Because Sylvanie's on it. No, I'm kidding.
Basically.
Well, basically.
Actually, hey, I love Sylvanie. I am Sylvanie.
You know who Sylvanie loves? Anyway, it's Greyfell. She loves the.
Now she loves the babies.
The babies. She loves.
Anyway, you guys know how much we enjoy the Keeper of the Lost City series. I think Maki is still reading this one at the moment.
Yes, I am.
I have not even started it yet. Because
there are things worth knowing in this one.
I don't know if my heart can take it, to be honest. Like I think I'm in a place where like my heart is just like.
So right, and here's the thing, right? Obviously this came a little bit later in the mail because I got the Kindle version like day itself when it got released. So I got to start that, and then when I started reading it, I'm like, you know what? I think you're gonna want to read this thing in hard. Because
it has illustrations and stuff. Yeah.
Because it does have illustrations, and though I prefer to sort of like pinch and like focus and zoom, that's there's something can be said for having something sort of physical in your hands. So I did get that. All of my as is my want, my entire haul is digital.
But we'll get to that in a second because I'm not even done yet. So at the end of November, I placed a order with Barnes & Noble just because I could. And so I finally have the last paperback I need to complete my copies of the His Fair Assassin series by Robin Lefevre. This is Mortal Heart. This is the 3rd book. It is about Aneth, who is one of the other people who serves death in the story, and her book was not one I was looking forward to when I initially heard about it, but then when I read it, I was like, this is one of the best books I've read in that year. So definitely excited about that. I also got a book on a whim just because it sounds really good. So The Bright and Breaking Sea by Chloe Neal, and this is part of the Captain Kit Brightling series.
Ah, yes.
So it's basically about Kit Brightling, who got rescued as a foundling, and then she was raised in a home for talented girls, and she worked really, really hard so that she would rise to the ranks of like the Isle's Crown Command and become one of the female captains in the fleet of that particular like isle.
Nice.
So she's a captain on the sea. And there's another character named Rian, who is a viscount.
And don't we love our
he's a
viscounts in
veteran
this
of
house?
the Continental War, and Kit, doesn't know like what his motives are. And so she is tasked by the Queen to partner with him in order to rescue a spy who's been gathering information for their kingdom. And it says, Kit can lead her ship and clever crew on her own, but with the fate of queen and country at stake, Kit and Rian must learn to trust each other or else the Isles will fall. So it is a fantasy romance read. I'm very much looking forward to checking it out.
Very nice.
And then this last set of books, Maki will be very excited about. He's been telling me to read them for like...
Well, only because she loved Phaedra and the way
Since I
Phaedra's
read the
story
entire
ended so
Phaedra's
much.
trilogy.
I mean...
I don't know if I'm gonna say them in the right order, so you'll just have to correct me. I know it's Kushiel's Cheyenne first,
yes.
and then is it
Kushiel's
Mercy next, and then last is Kushiel's Justice. This is called Imriel's trilogy.
Yeah, this is Imriel.
And Imriel is a character you learn about in the, I want to say the first time you hear his name is in the second book, but you really get to meet him in the third book of Phaedra's trilogy.
And his particular destiny is so heavily intertwined with Phaedra's.
I'm so excited because it's another story set in this world, and Imri is a character that I personally adore. I feel like I'm gonna lose it when I read this.
I'm already losing it now. Like, just holding these books, because obviously these are the first physical copies of these books that I've ever, first of all, laid eyes on, and then actually held. So I'm very emotional at this point in time that these are gonna be like physical copies on a shelf.
Oh, he's actually tearing up. Okay, I'm very excited. They're on my to-be-read list for 2021, so that's definitely gonna be happening. I also have 3 digital books that I need to talk about. So first is I finally caved and bought From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout.
Yes.
This is the first in a new fantasy series from her. And it is basically about a woman named Poppy. She is destined to be a maiden, and that's something very special to her race. But the maiden is supposed to stay very like apart from everyone else.
Yeah.
And Poppy finds it really hard to do that, especially when a bodyguard is assigned to her. A very good-looking bodyguard is assigned to her named Hawk. And he sort of challenges her to start questioning why things are done this way, like how things are set up. It just sounds so good. Like, I have heard nothing but praise for this particular series from Jennifer Armentrout, and I am looking forward to checking it out. And then I also, well, I mentioned this, I think, I don't know if the What We Read is going up before or after this. If it's up before this, I'll link to it. If not, then watch out for the review. But The Midnight Library is also something I acquired digitally. This is a book about Nora Seed. Because she tries to take her own life, she finds herself in a place called the Midnight Library, which is in between life and death. And while she is there, she is allowed to experience how her life would have turned out if she'd made different choices along the way. And I'm gonna leave it at that. And the last book I got is actually one I know Kristen, formerly from Super Space Chick, now from Merrily Kristen, loves, and it is a book called Sunshine. And the one-line description is, a small-town baker uses her magic to confront a post-vampire apocalypse world in this award-winning fantasy that Neil Gaiman calls pretty much perfect.
Sold.
It just sounds so
I kind
good.
of want it.
Bakers and vampires, like,
I mean,
I am here.
I'll have a pastry and, you know, like, fight the undead.
Right?
I just...
Sounds great. So
or
I
have
cannot
pastries
wait.
with the end. I don't know. We don't know what this post-apocalyptic vampire world is.
Who knows?
For all we know, something else caused the apocalypse, and vampires are just like, I guess we're the only ones left now.
Yep. I'm
in.
super excited about that book and cannot wait to read it. So what's in, since I'm in the digital haul, what about your digital haul?
As is my wont, my haul is completely digital, right? Ready Player 2, I pre-ordered it, it was there. People are...
I have heard not so great.
I have heard not so great things about it. I am curious. And in honor of Ready Player 1, I bought Ready Player 2, as, you know, and we'll just see if all the hype is real, I guess. Not saying the hype is good or bad, I'm just saying, is it real? Next would be Hunter, Dragon Rider Heritage by Nicole Conway.
Yeah. It's a new one?
It's a new one. Again, it's set in a world where people ride dragons, and
There's a half elf, half human named Javen.
Half elf, half human named Javen.
Wait, no, this
who
is the
became a
spin-off.
hero.
Yeah.
But then he won the one battle, and then there's a new series where they were being invaded, and he sort of came back to life. This is after that's, you know, like 100 years later kind of series, and it centers around a kid named Thatcher Renly. He's gonna have to petition stuff. Even you have to go to the Queen of Maldabar at this point in time to do his thing, because there is a dragon that has lost its rider in the war and is pretty much just gone nuts. But he feels a draw to it. So it's another one of those. I don't know what Nicole Kong is going to do with this one. I am invested in the
all
world.
of them, though.
Yeah, so far. I mean, you know, some more than the others, but it's been compelling so far. That we're focusing on new characters now. I'm like, all right, let's see what you got. Dawn of X, Volume 10. I'm not going to get too much into that for those of you who have been here, but point is,
the X-Men now.
X-Men, no, not the X-Men. Every mutant now is best friends, and they have their own island nation. And
they're very powerful politically and economic force at this point.
See, the fact that
on the island of Krakoa.
The fact that Alexa can describe the Dawn of X sort of like reboot for the X-Men franchise.
I've heard you talk about it multiple times this year.
And
it would be kind of sad if I couldn't.
Exactly. The only thing I'm going to say is the fact that Marvel Unlimited has finally caught up with like the TPBs. So when this thing kind of popped into my Kindle, I'm like, ooh, I wonder what episodes or not episodes. I wonder what issues and hey, I read these already on Marvel Unlimited. I guess I'll just tag this book as read. On the day that I got it, because we've been into a huge, me especially, have been to a huge Magic the Gathering phase. But War of the Spark Volume 2, Forsaken, it centers around a couple of the Planeswalkers who are involved in a larger, big, epic, you know, Avengers Endgame type battle against the Dragon God. They were tasked to hunt down some of the, you know, individuals who helped, and it focuses on one of my favorite ships, and of course Kaya, who is the Orzhov guildmaster, I want to say reluctantly, technically assassin turned guildmaster, that's her deal, and now she has a couple of kids that she's sort of adopted. One of them is Teo Verada, the shield mage. You've seen like that one card. So it centers on them hunting for Liliana Vess, who is a thing. And so it's Liliana's redemption arc. You'll see it in the cards, it's not too spoilery. Gideon Jura, one of the main characters, gives his life for her so that she can deliver the final blow against the evil dragon god.
That's how that's been going.
That's how that's been going. And finally, without you know, last but certainly not least, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, the latest Dungeons and Dragons source book, was released this year.
I really like the title of that one.
Because Tasha, like, they made Tasha out as a character like Mordenkainen, like, you know, she's very, like, she reminds me of Angela from the...
That's what she reminds... That's the vibe I was getting from the title
of
it.
Exactly. So she's the sort of like Angela from the Inheritance Cycle by Christopher Paolini. So
Angela's
she's that...
a witch, and that's like...
Exactly. So she is a witch that is sort of like glib and sarcastic, but knows so many things and is ambiguous about how long she's lived on the earth, that kind of deal. And so really what this...
I love characters like that.
Right? And so what this book actually does is that it takes some, if not necessarily all, of the Unearthed Arcana sort of like trial tests, you know, subclasses, and sort of makes them canon now, officially. And I dig it. Like they're
that sounds like fun.
So, like for example, there's a bunch of psychic subclasses now where you can have psychic knives, like Psylocke, and there's the artificer class.
Wow.
I know, it's super cool. Where you literally get to like be Tony Stark and just have a power suit and just blow things up. It's super cool.
Yeah, it sounds super cool.
So that is that. Very, very happy. I have been using it for personal fun. Like I make characters just because I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like, and even used this book for another like a short campaign where I was an artificer and I had a boomstick, which is really a hand cannon, and it blows everything up. Literally, it's great. Nothing wrong with that at all. So,
all right,
very pleased.
We're gonna end this video with a double unboxing. So I got 2 FairyLoot boxes. These are the boxes.
FairyLoot.
You've seen us unbox one of these before, I want to say, and this is the October box.
Alrighty.
So the first thing you are going to see in it, technically I already opened these because I wanted to see what was in them, but the first thing that you're going to see in this one is a pair of socks. They actually call them Vampire Hunter socks because they have bats,
skulls, like swords, and a crest of some sort in the middle. Totally
I love socks. I love novelty socks, so
I may end up stealing these because
they're too small for your feet, so you can't. There is a pin inspired by The Young Elites, which is a series by Marie Lu, and it says, "It is my turn to use, my turn to hate," and has a wolf on it. I don't know if you guys can see that. There you go. This is a puzzle, and this is the image on the puzzle. It is actually Jax from the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber.
Hello.
This is a very, I think it's like a 100-piece puzzle. Got another set of playing cards. This is called the Wicked Hearts playing card set. I actually haven't opened it yet, but I do like the box aesthetic. We have a lot of playing cards in our house now because, you know,
it is its own
for
thing.
reasons. So these are salt and pepper shakers. They're ceramic salt and pepper shakers.
Ooh, how
Very
interesting.
cute, very cute. And they have this sort of like snake print on them. I don't know if you can see it. They match basically. One has the moon, one has a snake, and there's quotes on them. So it says, "By earth, moon, and stone, bless the hearth, bless this home,"
Oh.
which is something that is said in the book. It's very cute. I just like this is not something I would normally have seen in a book box, so I think it's really cool that they decided to include it in
And
this
it's a
one.
home thing, like, you know.
And it makes so much sense when you see what the book is.
Because the book is actually...
The book is actually
drum
something
roll.
we mentioned earlier in this video, or I mentioned earlier in this video. Ooh. Well, here's the spoiler card first. That's what that looks like. And there's a matching bookmark, and there's the usual, wow, there's so much stuff. There's the usual fairy scoop, which is like the newsletter that comes. And the book, the book in question is Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie
There
Maniscalco,
you
which we
go.
talked about earlier. There is also this FairyLoot exclusive deleted chapter.
Here we go.
And, well, this I don't think has anything to do with the books because different series, if I remember correctly. But there are the two tarot cards as usual. So there's also this exclusive print, which has, this is a print of Wrath, who is a character in the book. And the letter from Carrie is on the back of that. So we're going to keep all
That's
that
awesome.
together. This is their edition. As you can see, it's a little bit more purple. And my favorite thing is that it has black sprayed edges, right? But the side has this floral design,
That's
which is
cool.
gorgeous.
That's
And
gorgeous.
yes, if you thought that was the only thing that was cool about it, there's also this incredible under the dust jacket casing design.
Very foily.
And the dust jacket has also this incredible art on the back. So it is like the full package of a book, let's be real. Like, this is like
That is
everything I could have ever
magnificent.
wanted. I think it's, yeah, it's also got the book plate in there, just for your reference. But yeah, Kingdom of the Wicked is a book that I read earlier this year. It is about twin sisters, Emilia and Vittoria. At the very beginning of the book, Victoria is brutally murdered. And so Emilia decides that she will do whatever it takes to discover who killed her sister, including using forbidden spells to summon, oh, I don't know, a Prince of Hell. And she ends up collaborating with this Prince of Hell, and things kind of go from there. So,
Like Max Lightwood Bane says, demons!
demons! I really like the Prince of Hell, though. I really enjoyed that book. I'm super excited for book 2, which is out in 2021.
Honey child, you're not the only one who liked that Prince of Hell.
So
Just saying.
it's an incredible edition, very exciting. But that's not the only FairyLoot box we've got. This is the November box. This one I actually have not opened.
The theme, according to this last one, is enemies to lovers
Yep.
or some such.
And here is the spoiler card. There is a scrunchie. I don't know what the words are from. Maybe it's on the spoiler card.
Featuring a beautiful quote from Shatter Me
by Tahara Mafi. Love this scrunchie though. I love scrunchies, so I have bookmarks. Oh, this is definitely some of these characters I recognize. So there's a bunch of bookmarks. This is Farah and this is Reese from the Akatar series by Sarah J. Maas.
Ah, lovely.
This is Reed and this is Lou. They are from Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. This is Megan, I think, yeah. And Ash, they're from the Iron Phase series by Julie Kagawa. And this is Roma and Juliet, and they're from the book These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong.
Sweet.
All right, next we've got the tarot cards. There's actually 4 of them this month, which is a lot. Oh, wait, this one I know. Wait, I think I do know who these characters are. I lied to you. I think they're the characters in Crescent City. There is a sticky screen cleaner, which is apparently inspired by the series Angel Fall by Susan E. Oh, tote bag, tote bag, tote bag. Ooh, it's a Juden card and tote bag. It must be.
Oh, tarot cards. Yeah, they are House of Earth and
I knew
Blood.
it! The only reason I knew these were House of Earth and Blood is because of this particular character. But yeah, see?
But this
Juden
is a
card and
Juden
tote
card.
bag.
I love the Jude's
Taking
like
card
wings.
and
Sure,
Well,
but
she is though, look.
but I was, but I was gonna allude to the fact that
Her
Jude,
dress looks like butterfly wings.
and monarch butterfly wings.
I know, I
you
love
know,
it
specifically
because,
because
you
she's
know.
the queen.
And then we
Of
have...
nothing. Anyway, I don't
Here's
know,
the
that's
bag
title.
hanger. I don't know what series it's from or what series it's inspired
The
by.
bag hanger is The Wrath and the Dawn
By Renee
yeah.
Adier. And then we have, I guess this must be another scarf. Ooh, this is
It's a bookish scarf.
huge scarf.
Song of the Wraiths and Song of
Oh,
Wraiths
I
and
haven't
Women
read that book yet,
by
but
Rosanna
I am
Brown.
very intrigued. It says, "Come and gather, a story is about to begin." That's a great quote.
That's a great quote.
This is also a huge scarf. Just saying. And now we're down to the final thing that was in this, which is the book, obviously. I already knew what the book was going to be before I got this box.
Of course.
You know, it's one of my most anticipated. Oh, there's a bookmark in here. There's another one. Oh, it's the other half of the spoiler card.
Yeah.
Okay. So the book is These Violent Delights, which is by Chloe Gong. As you can see, let's look for the original. This will actually make it obvious what the difference is. As you can see, the cover is a little bit more muted. It's got more rose gold tones.
Rose goldy.
Yeah, right? And then it's got sprayed edges, which I love. I also got a book plate that is signed by Chloe Gong. And we've also got, oh, there's an annotated scene in here. One of the best scenes in the book, mind you. And then there is this character art. This is Julia Kai, who is the queen, to be honest. And I thought it was over. Wait for it. There's art on the dust jacket, and it's
here we
phenomenal art.
That is gorgeous. That is like we are fighting the plague together.
Listen.
Our families may be warring, but we can have a drink.
But listen, I really love These Violent Delights. We already talked about what it was about. I love that book so much, and I really think you guys should check it out if you haven't already. Great YA historical fantasy, and Chloe is so talented, and I'm so excited to see what she does next. But that is the end of our unboxing section of this haul. It's the end of our book haul as well. We hope you enjoyed listening to us talk about some of the new acquisitions, digitally or physically, that we received. And we'd love it if you tell us which of the books we mentioned you're the most excited about. Yeah. If you've read any of them, definitely let us know as well. And we will see you guys with a new video next week. Bye!